My grandson Amitai, who turned 7 today, he's quite a guy, but I'm not going to talk about his birthday. He lost his first tooth. And so, of course, there was a phone. We talk on our cell phones now, so I saw him. So what does he do? He goes like this immediately. Look. And I can see down to his tonsils. Then I said, so Amitai, show me your tooth. He lost it. Okay, so I asked him, so I turned to my daughter who was on the phone. I said, if you lose your tooth, does the tooth fairy come? John, what do you think?
Yes.
It does come.
Absolutely.
You can fix this.
No doubt.
Okay, you can fix it. So I don't know what Amitai's hoping for, but something good is going to happen. But throughout life, we all hope for things. We hope for success. We hope for good health. We hope for love and companionship. We hope that we get enough of all of it. And when we receive some of these things, we should experience gratitude. But here is something that we shouldn't overlook. Part of gratitude is recognizing that we are not the sole author of what is good in our lives. Things come our way, and we have not necessarily earned them. And that message is very much in the framework of what the Torah talks about this week. Our Torah portion deals with gratitude, especially the Israelites' gratitude as they enter the promised land of Israel. They have been incredibly coddled by God. Every one of their needs has been met. Food, drink, manna, quail, we know the whole thing. They've been guided in the wilderness. All of their needs have been greatly met. But what about the future in the land of Israel? Will their needs be met? And what will happen if their needs are met? And this is what the Torah tells us. It says, for the Lord, this is Moses talking to the Jewish people, to the Hebrews. He's saying, for the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land where you will lack nothing. And when you have eaten your fill, give thanks to the Lord your God for the good land which he has given you. And when you have eaten your fill, and I've condensed it a little bit. When you've eaten your fill and you've built fine houses to live in and all the other things, beware lest your heart grow haughty and you forget the Lord your God. Moses warns them by saying not to think, this is what, my own powers and the might of my own hand have won the wealth for me. Remember that it is the Lord your God who gives you the power to get wealth in fulfillment of the covenant that he made on an oath for your fathers as is still the case. It's a very interesting statement. It's an interesting warning. Moses is imagining that the Israelites entering the land of Israel, enjoying the bounty of the land, the greatness of the land, the benefits of the land, succeeding. And what's going to happen is they're going to congratulate themselves and say, boy, we are great. Look how wonderful our lives are. Boy, we're so deserving of what we got. We are such great people. This portion is a warning. Whatever we have is only in small measure from our own efforts. Moses' words are sobering. The Torah is in effect saying, it's not good to have it so good. It can be a trap. Because in prosperity, we forget that what we have is not necessarily dependent on our own skills and efforts. They are blessings from God. There is a great German Orthodox thinker named Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch who wrote about this in relationship to this portion, but he broadens it in making an incredible statement. Let me read it to you. He says, Koach, power, everything, all that makes your creativity, personality, and your capacity to earn, the intelligence, the skill, the considering foresight, the physical and mental health, every factor of your existence, of what you wish for and are able to accomplish, is not the result of the food you eat, but is given to you directly from God. And so also the combination of external circumstances which bring about the possibility and success of your work and endeavors is dependent on Him and Him alone. He gives you the koach, the power, to make your fortune. And then he says, the very smallest part of your good fortune can be ascribed to your own merit. Hirsch is saying, be humble. Much of your life is a blessing. It's an unearned gift. Now, permit me to frame it a little differently, but as I've been mulling over this lesson this week, it really made me think about life in general, my own life. It says, when we are successful, it's only partly from our own efforts. None of us are completely self-made. We live in a country that's free and gives us opportunities. We live in a community where there are roads and running water and sewers and electric power lines and cell phone networks. And they are there because of other people's investment and ingenuity. Many of us have benefited from families that we were born into, who have nurtured us, protected us, loved us, paid for us, left us legacies which give us an advantage. We have mentors in our lives that have taken interest in us. We are healthy because of medical science and physicians who have trained to keep us healthy. We have weather stations that warn us of storms coming. We have building codes that protect us from our buildings falling literally upon us. We are guarded by policemen, firemen, EMTs who respond to us and literally save our lives. We have insurance companies that protect us from the unexpected. We live in a country of civil rights and freedoms, at least for now. And some of us have special physical and mental gifts that are beyond our control. I will never be an Olympic athlete, or I'll never get a perfect score in SATs, but some people can. Now, all of these are gifts, and none of it is of our own making. And a lot of what we have is just by chance, that we were born well and at the right time in the right place. And we could have been born in another place in the third world without food and without vaccines. Let us not pretend that everything is our own doing. Very little is. Remember what Hirsch says. The very smallest part of your good fortune can be ascribed to your own merit. So much of life is just a gift, undeserved. Now let me take it even a little further. Not getting everything that you want can be enriching. Being overindulged can be destructive to our own healthy development. There was a rabbinical student at the Jewish Theological Seminary. I saw something that she had written about this portion, and she called it the snow plowing effect of raising children. I never knew this before. And this is what she said. She said, we treat our kids like rare and precious botanical specimens, provide a deliberate, measured amount of care and feeding, while running interference on all that might toughen and weather them. But humans need some degree of weathering in order to survive the larger challenges of life will throw our way. And without experience the rougher spots of life, our kids become exquisite like orchids, yet are incapable, sometimes terribly incapable, of thriving in the real world on their own. In other words, life toughens us up. Just like abundance can make us self-righteous, smug, arrogant, and selfish, struggle has the value to build character. It toughens, it humbles, it prepares us. Now, I know this from my own life, and I've had a very blessed life. I feel really, really, really blessed. Yet my parents gave me very little after I was 18. That's a whole other discussion, and I'll tell you that in my memoirs when they're never published. Okay. I took out student loans for college and rabbinical school. It took years for us to pay them off. Thank you, Jane Londy. I got along with very little in college. And when I went to rabbinical school, not only did I take many classes, I tutored practically every day of the week, running all over New York City just to survive. And when we got married, Jane and I paid for our own wedding. Everything that we have, and everything that we have been able to give to our children, was something that we've made. So the question is, what do I feel about that? And here's the weird thing. As much as I feel frustrated that we had to do it alone, I feel good that Jane and I had the tenacity and strength and determination to control our lives. I feel incredibly grateful for the life that we have created, and I really feel God has blessed us. Not because it was easy, rather because we had to make it on our own, and I take nothing for granted. None of us should. And that is what Moses is warning the people of Israel, and I believe he's warning us. That's not a rationalization, but the truth. I take this Torah portion very seriously. I applaud the warning that Moses gave to the Israelites. Don't be arrogant. Don't think that everything's coming to you. You have a very generous God. Be thankful, but don't be supercilious. Be humble and grateful. I think this approach to living, a path of humility and thanksgiving, is the best way to a meaningful life, and towards which we all should strive. Shabbat Shalom.